We're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite horror movies, or just like movies to watch at Halloween in general.
Okay. Well, I mean, since Mr. Jonny D is the guest of honor, let's have him go first.
Well, I actually wrote down 10, but I'll just do the top 5. Or you want me to do all 10?
I mean, if you want to, yeah, you can do all 10.
Alright, well, anyway, I'll just go by real quick. Number 10, The Thing, the John Carpenter one.
Ooh.
Just love that movie when I first saw it. And just
Kurt Russell, right?
Kurt Russell and...
I think that's a very good looking Kurt Russell because it's beard, full hair. I mean, why not? He looks like freaking Harry.
Man, I can talk for days about that movie, especially the ending scene when him and Childs are in the...
You know what? Don't tell me that because I have never finished The Thing. There's always something comes up.
Well, you're
I know, I'm fucked.
Alright, number 9 on the... And I don't know why it's so far down, but Halloween, the original John Carpenter Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Shaun of the Dead, that's one of my favorite movies. I thought I was going to hate it because I'm such a big George Romero fan, and I thought, oh man, they're making fun of Dawn of the Dead, those fuckers, but I watched it and I was like, easily top. Anyway, number 7, Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Love that movie so much. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
5, the original Fright Night. Love that movie.
Yes.
One of the best vampire movies ever. Number 4, Day of the Dead, George Romero's 1985 classic. I have actually an autographed original movie poster. I don't have it up right now, but...
I know you showed it to us too, and dude, I'm like freaking jealous about that.
Number 3, Dawn of the Dead, the 1978 version. Fucking love that movie. Number 2, The Exorcist, which I put it on there even though technically it's not a horror movie.
It gets funnier every year.
But it's one of my top favorite movies. And number 1 on the list, Night of the Living Dead. And that's the
original black and white?
It's a tie between the 68 and then the remake in 1990 that Tom Savini did, because I love both of them. Normally remakes aren't as good, but Tom Savini did a real good job. And I don't know if you ever watched Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs on TNT when you were kids, but he's the...
Yes!
Joe Bob Briggs, here, we're going to watch, whatever. But those are my top 10. I mean, all those are great to watch any time of the year, but Halloween...
Just set a whole week, watch every single one of those movies every day.
I know all of them by heart. You put on the movie and, like, I'm line for line, like, oh, he walked,
That's right, folks. If you ever go to the movies with this gentleman right here, he actually could, like, school you on some kick-ass history.
I'm also like Rain Man, so no, definitely zombies. Oh, no.
But Mr. Eddie Gein, go ahead. What's yours?
So a lot of mine were covered in John's too. So I would say it's a toss-up between Child's Play for my number 5 and Chainsaw Massacre.
I left that one off. I knew there was one I was missing.
For me, it's always like a kind of like a toss-up between like the original and like the remakes of the Chainsaw Massacre. They're all pretty good. Like the first one's kind of like more suspenseful. Mm-hmm. Like how they start off on the road and like trying to look for like a rest stop and everything, and then they end up in the house. And then like the second ones, they're like the more fast paced. But yeah, it's always a toss up between like the original and the remakes for me. And then for my number 4, it's gonna be Wreck. It's a Spanish horror movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Well, Wreck, and then they
made the American version, Quarantine.
1 and 2.
They're both pretty good too. Like,
I don't know. I don't think Quarantine holds up to what Wreck is.
It's yeah. I mean, I think they're both good, but
Yeah, like for me, I would go with Wreck just because I know Spanish and I don't need the subtitles and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
but if you're one of those people who like just can't stand subtitles, Quarantine definitely is a good alternative.
Yeah.
But Wreck was one of those movies that I watched. It just kind of like gave me claustrophobia and like it just made me feel like queasy because like all like the found footage stuff. So there's Wreck right there, and then I'm going to go with it's a toss up too for number 3. It's between The Thing, and that one's also I can go either with the original. I mean, not the original, but what was it?
Well, the original one's from like the 50s, the black and white
one. The 80s one?
That's the remake, and then they made the
remake, and then they made the
2011 prequel.
Yeah, Homeboy from the Warrior, I think.
Yeah, it shows you how they got to in the 1981, the year I was born. it shows you how they got, because in the movie they go to the camp and they find the Norwegians. They're already dead. So this shows you how they got to that point, so like how they originally found the...
But they're pretty much similar. Like, there's a lot of good scenes in both of them. The 80s one had really good creature effects, and then the prequel had some really gruesome stuff, but the only thing that takes me away from that is like they had a lot of CG.
Yeah.
I wish they would have done a lot of more
that's my gripe with a lot of like these new haunted movies, the Haunting in Connecticut. Yeah, I mean, it's scary, but it's, CGI ghosts just...
I don't see Haunting in Connecticut scary. I see it more religious. Yeah. That one,
That movie sucks so much dick. It should have came with a pimp.
And then, okay, for my number 2, I'm going to be choosing The Blob, which has a lot of similar elements to The Thing.
Which one? The 80s version?
I like all of them.
I like the 80s better though.
The black and white one was like, it had a really good like atmosphere to it, and then you had the remake. That one was pretty good as well. The 88 version, that one had really good creature effects, and it was like really like gory.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, I would kind of go with that one over them. And then for my number 1 would be Night of the Living Dead. Again, the original, and then like the Tom Savini one. I kind of want to go with the Tom Savini one just because like...
You saw that one first?
No, I saw the original first because it came out like in Telemundo. For some reason they had free license or whatever, so they would.
Well, what it is when they submitted the movie and they finished like it's film, they're supposed to put a little copyright symbol so that they can't take it. Well, something happened to copyright, so literally I can get the movie and stream it.
We can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, I can stream it. I can use the title. I can use anything in the movie, and of course later on, like when they did the 90s version, like Tom Savini gave like George Romero a lot of credit, and like like so he kind of got because before people were like, fuck, I ain't giving why would give him any kind of licensing money, but
it's kind of really hard to choose between both of them because the original was classic and brought about like zombie movies.
Yeah, I mean
it's the whole topic of zombies and stuff.
It gave birth to the whole rules.
Right.
Like if you get bit, you turn to a zombie. If you die, whatever, you come back as a zombie, and stuff. The only way to kill him is to shoot him in the head. Before that, zombies were mindless, like slaves. You know what I mean? There was like a main villain, and he'd be like, "Go kidnap this girl and bring her to me." So they would be like, "Yes, master."
And then just like an honorable mention, I'm gonna put in Alien in there.
Oh.
Just because like it's always like kind of like a debate of whether it's a horror movie or a sci-fi movie.
The first one, it can go both ways, I think. Because
I feel like the first is more of a horror because it's very claustrophobic.
That, and also it's got the
it's like really suspenseful.
And it's got the elements of a horror movie where you have the good guys and you have like the single monster that they're trying to kill and stuff like that. So other than the fact that it takes place in space, like I mean I guess that would be the sci-fi element if you want to go that route. But I say horror.
Yeah, and like what you notice with my picks, a lot of them were like sci-fi related. I don't know. I just think like the sci-fi monsters they make more sense. You could actually picture like maybe like an alien one day coming by with like an anal probe and getting this guy right here.
Why am I always the one with the anal probe?
Because of the three,
do I look like the bitch? Like for real?
Because of the three, you'd be the only one that would enjoy it.
Speaking of this bastard,
true.
What are your picks, Drew?
What are your picks, Drew?
So, man, I have so many. Like, I could do like 20, but I'm gonna cut it down to 5. And so my 5th one is gonna be Dead Silence because that movie, dolls in general kind of creep me out, and especially when they're like porcelain dummy dolls, they are just more creepy for me. With that movie, like it just kind of enhanced it more. And I wasn't on any drugs or nothing like that. This it literally does scare the crap out of me.
We know you're a little bitch, Drew.
I know. I call it out. I don't fucking care. I mean,
I don't play with or collect dolls. I collect action figures.
No. when I watched that movie, I don't remember it being that great, but I guess there's like a cult following for it.
There is there's a little cult following, and the reason why I follow it is because one of my favorite gothic punk bands did one of the songs for it, which is Aiden, and I fell in love with the song, but then the movie, I fell in love with it, but it scares the crap out of me.
I just thought it wasn't really that original because you had like Puppet Master and then you had Child's Play and stuff like that. But it had some good good gore to it.
What I liked about it was, spoiler alerts if y'all haven't seen it, it's how the ending ends.
Oh yeah,
because
the ending was pretty good.
It was just it was so fun. It was one of my favorite endings where the hero doesn't survive. Yeah,
and typically I don't like those kind of movies where Drag Me to Hell and stuff like that, where where like they're trying to like avoid death the whole time, and then at the end they get fucked anyways.
Yeah.
But
spoiler alert: Bruce Willis is a ghost.
But with that movie, yeah, I actually like the ending.
So my number 4 is gonna be Hellraiser, and I'm going with honest. It's actually number 4. It's gonna be Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2. Those are actually becoming my favorite. And
they take place right after each other, right?
Yeah, they do. So that's
I kind of picture them as one movie. Usually when I watch Hellraiser, I watch 1 and 2.
But you know, nowadays like people are like, no, it's 2 movies, man.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
Oh, suffering will be legendary even in hell.
But I love it when he does it. We have such sights to show you.
We have such sights to show you.
That one, I love it because it's like the gore is just.
And the funny part about the first movie is the Cenobites are literally on screen for like 7 minutes.
Yeah,
the whole movie.
I know.
We don't really see them.
But
every time you see Hellraiser, you see the Cenobites, and people talk about the Cenobites. I mean Cenobuns and Cenobites, but they're in there for like not even 7 minutes, like 5, 6 minutes. I guess 7 minutes a total, whatever. And
but they were in that movie for that long for them to be so iconic.
But then in the second movie, they're like, okay, well, you know, what did they like about the first movie? And they're like, Cenobites.
So my number 3 choice is actually another Clive Barker film, which is Candyman. And I love watching that, like every Halloween.
Sweets to the Sweet. With that movie, I kind of found it like disturbing, honestly. Like when I watched it the first time.
That's why I like it.
When I watched it the first time, I think I was like,
dude, I like it that a Karen gets beat the fuck up by a black dude.
No, the thing I found disturbing was like the whole baby scene and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it when I was like 9, I think, on Telemundo.
Of course.
But it's I feel like it's a good movie and it's also underrated. And then they're doing the reimagining of it, and Jordan Peele is on it, which I
thought you were gonna say Michael B. Jordan was gonna. Like, not him again.
But Jordan Peele is gonna be on the project, but I'm kind of skeptical about it, and it's because Tony Todd has done such wonderful works with Candyman, and then he moves on to be one of the horror icons of the 90s.
I want to say I only like the first one.
Yeah.
After that, like they kind of got hokey.
They got really
cheesy.
hokey, and then they replaced Tony Todd.
Yeah.
But
with Michael B. Jordan.
So my number 2 is gonna be the remake of Child's Play. Honest truth, like I know y'all gonna fucking hate on me, but I do love the original because Brad Dourif is really like his voice is. I wish I could do his voice, like the whole part when she's holding the doll. I know you can talk, so speak, damn it, before I throw you in the fire. And he's like, you fucking bitch! I'm gonna fucking bitch! But of course, my number 1 choice is gonna be Carnosaur. Y'all don't know that one.
No. Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, well, Carnosaur. Would you consider it to be a sci-fi or horror?
That's up to you. I think it's like the Alien, you know, where it can kind of go both ways. You know what I mean? Because of the whole.
What's the plot, real quick?
So it's basically like Jurassic Park, and they're trying to make a monster. Which I think it's actually a raptor. I think.
Yeah.
Like it's a raptor T-Rex. What happens is that it gets released into like this hick town, and Ron Howard's brother comes out on it.
Clint.
Yeah, Clint, and then he just like he's like, hey, you want some chicken? I'm eating some chicken. You want some chicken? And then out of nowhere, you just see the freaking dinosaur just come out and kill him right there and there. And I feel like nobody's understand what Carnosaur is. They made like what 4 movies?
Something like that. There were those straight to DVD movies, or straight to cassette and DVD.
I don't think I saw that on Telemundo.
I don't think Telemundo will play it.
I never watched any sequel. I remember renting Carnosaur one time and we watched it and it was like
really, because I remember watching it on HBO. But yeah, those are my top 5. And I mean, they're gonna change any other way.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll probably.
It was hard for me to pick these 10, and then as I was like doing them, I was like, oh no, and then I'd be like write something. And I switched them out so many times. I was like, because I started writing them down, and I'm like, oh, you know, and I would remember something else, and I'm like, you're like Poltergeist, you know, like my favorite is part 2.
That's when they're in the hotel, right?
No, that's part 3. Part 2 is when they move in with their grandmother, the mom's grandma, and Taylor, the Indian, comes to help him.
Oh,
Taylor, your car is angry.
For me, I was trying to like pick variety. It was kind of hard because like I actually like those movies.
What I went was stuff that inspired me. Like Night of the Living Dead is my number one, just because.
I think Night of the Living Dead is a number one on a lot of people's list.
No, but I do have some honorable mentions. One of them is gonna be the Pumpkinhead series. Yeah. 1 and 2 are always gonna be my favorite, and the other one that I have to mention is Ginger Snaps.
I never seen that movie actually. I
never seen it.
I heard it was bad or horrible. So I never.
So that's one of my brother's like movies that he watched the first one. He was like, oh okay, it's alright. And then like the second one and like the other ones came out, and he was like, nah, fuck that. I fucking hate that movie.
Okay, well I actually love all 3 movies that they came out with, and the first one, in honest truth, I think it can hold up to now. And I believe it could like do a cult following as well. But I mean, you really have to see the first one. I know, John. I know you're probably gonna rip it to shreds.
What?
I'm just like crucifying it, but it's your angsty kind of gothic teens who want to worship death, and then when they finally get the gift, and then there they go, and like they kind of just scared of it.
No, I mean everybody has their own
opinion about that.
Well, they have their own, what's scared. Like I know a lot of people are scared of clowns. Me, I could watch a clown movie and it's like, eh. Some people, they watch, the first 10 minutes of it and it's like, turn it off, I can't watch it, turn it off, and me, I'm like.
Well, yeah, I mean, so if y'all have any stories that y'all want to share, go ahead. Go to the bottom, hit some comments with us. Tell us also, what are your top 5 horror movies? Now, Night of the Living Dead is always going to be number 1 because it kind of just introduced a genre of horror.
George A. Romero, rest in peace.
At least we still got Wes Craven.
Oh, fuck you. But guys, make sure you go down to the bottom, check out the comments, leave us any of your top 5. Make sure you also let us know what fucking funny horror story you have. Also, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, show us some love. I mean, this is the Gruesome Element, so let's make the world a little bit more gruesome. Bye, y'all.
Happy Halloween.
Fuck me.